Did you know that Blackbeard is based on a real pirate and that Luffy is also partly inspired by that real pirate and that even Sanji makes an appearance in that real pirate's history? It's crazy, and that real pirate is of course Blackbeard, Edward Teach, who not only inspired Blackbeard in name but also in power, because the darkness power is most definitely based on the real life Blackbeard. Who was he? He was history's most vicious, most feared pirate. Blackbeard would, before he enters battle, put lit fuses in his beard and light them so that dark smoke would emerge from them, and enemies would be even more scared of this man and call him a dark meteor or a dark comet. And definitely that's the inspiration for the darkness power. You can't tell me otherwise. And Blackbeard also carried 3 guns across his chest, and you might have noticed that One Piece Blackbeard also loves 3 pieces. The inspiration between Blackbeard One Piece and Blackbeard the real pirate is deep. It's not just in the name, it's also in the infamy, because Blackbeard was feared. Merchants were terrified of him because he would sack ship after ship and get richer and richer. At some point he even bought or settled down in the Bay of North Carolina, and merchants had to pay a toll to him, and he still sacked them whenever he wanted to. This was Blackbeard, the infamous Blackbeard, feared by everybody. But it turns out this image might have just been genius marketing by Edward Teach, Blackbeard himself, who wanted that image of him to be out there. In reality, he was completely different, and this was found with new excavations. His ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, was found, and the excavation revealed fascinating results. For one, it is now known, or rather strongly believed, that Blackbeard never actually took alive, except for in his final battle where he was captured. Blackbeard never killed a prisoner. He never tortured a prisoner. Blackbeard's crew had a democracy. He had freed slaves from all over. He had pirates of all races. He had a crew and a non-killing mentality that is much more similar to Luffy than Blackbeard. Also, the fact that Blackbeard's reputation is one where it's infamous. He's scared. He's feared. That's kind of like Luffy, but then when you get to meet him, he's very nice and he will never take a life, and he's simply not evil. It seems that that's what Blackbeard was like, and the similarities to Luffy become even crazier once you know this. When the ship was excavated, they found a large amount of deer remains, boar remains, turkey remains. It seems that Blackbeard loved his food, and there are historic reports that confirm that state that the cuisine on Blackbeard's ship was better than the cuisine in restaurants on the mainland. And this was because Blackbeard specifically got a French chef to be a part of his crew. I'm gonna pause here for a second. You get what I'm saying here? A French chef that he specifically got to be a part of his crew because he loved food so much. I told you, Luffy is also based on this real life Blackbeard, and Sanji is gonna make an appearance here. He just did. So in summary, it can be said that there were 2 Blackbeards. There was the image of the evil Blackbeard, the man that everybody feared, that merchants were terrified of, the monster, the killer, that never really existed to this extent because it was genius marketing by Blackbeard himself, because he knew to be feared means to be respected, and to be respected means power. He masterfully crafted that. But there's also the real Blackbeard, the man who was once a naval officer. He really was. The man who then became a pirate and chose not to take a life, except for in his final battle, the one where he was taken and the one where he was killed. It is also said Blackbeard's body was shot 5 times and cut down 20, and he was also decapitated at the end. His head was then put on a pole, and the pole stood outside of Chesapeake Bay with his head on it on full display. And it's funny because the image that Blackbeard crafted after his death served as the biggest warning to all the pirates out there, because the infamous, terrifying monster Blackbeard was defeated. So why should you try and do the same? There's a legend that says that Blackbeard's body still wanders aimlessly looking for its head, so that the devil and his friends may recognize him. I love that. I love that. And if you like what I do here, then please do consider hitting that follow, because I do these types of videos every day. And if you follow, then I'll see you tomorrow. Alright? Alright. Alright.